Hello student. So in last class we have seen the relation for piston displacement, piston velocity and piston acceleration, okay, and then angular velocity of connecting rod and angular acceleration of connecting rod, okay. So now the next is whatever we have derived in last video or class, we will use and we will calculate force, or we will do force analysis in engine, okay. As we know that all the engines are based upon the mechanism single slider crank mechanism, okay. So from directly single slider mechanism to or slider crank mechanism to we will jump to the engine, okay. So in engine, so an engine is acted upon by various forces such as weight of the reciprocating mass, connecting rod, okay, weight of the reciprocating masses and connecting rod, gas force, okay, which is nothing but the force applied because of fuel burning, okay, on the piston. So forces due to friction and inertia force due to acceleration and retardation of the engine element, and the last being dynamic in nature. So which one is dynamic? The inertia force is in dynamic nature, okay. So in this section the analysis is made of the forces neglecting the effect of the weight and inertia effect of the connecting rod, okay. So in this analysis we are not considering the weight and inertia effect of the connecting rod, okay. So we will consider only the mass of piston and then reciprocating mass, which is nothing but piston, okay. So we are ignoring the connecting rod mass or the inertia force because of connecting rod, because the inertia force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So as there is, we are not considering mass of the connecting rod, so we are also not considering inertia effect of the connecting rod. Now piston effort, okay. So we will draw one diagram here. This diagram is very important, okay. But before that we will define how many forces are there. So piston effort, so if you see in this diagram, this F is piston effort, okay. How much force is coming on the piston? So this is piston effort. But how you will calculate piston effort, that here it is given, okay. So the piston effort is termed as the net or effective force applied on the piston, okay. So how much net or effective force is coming on the piston is called piston effort. In reciprocating engine, the reciprocating masses accelerate during the first half of the stroke and the inertia force tends to resist the same, okay. So you know that the inertia force always acts opposite to the means in direction, opposite direction. So when it accelerates, the inertia force will resist, and thus the net force on the piston is decreased during the later half of the stroke. See, when this A position is here, up to the this position it will accelerate, okay. So first half, what it is written here, the net force on the piston is decreased during the first half of the stroke, okay. During the later half of the stroke, the reciprocating mass deaccelerate, and when it deaccelerate, the inertia force will oppose the deacceleration and it will act in the direction of the applied gas pressure and thus increases the net force on the piston. So in a vertical engine, the weight of the reciprocating mass will also count, because the mg effect will come the piston during the outer stroke, thus increasing the piston effort by an amount equal to the weight of the piston during the in stroke. We will see this how you will calculate. So the piston effort is decreased by the same amount during the upstroke, okay, or called in stroke, and when it is downstroke or outstroke, that will add, mg effect will add to the net piston effort. Now for example, A1 is the area of the cover end, A2 is the area of the piston rod. So we are calculating here force on piston due to gas pressure if P1 is your gas pressure. Okay, so exactly now you should know the piston means piston arrangement, cylinder, piston cylinder arrangement, but here we don't have. So in cover end, for example, P1 pressure is acting and from this side P2 pressure is acting. Okay, so and if this side area is A1, then pressure force you will calculate P1 A1 in minus P2 into A2. So P1 is pressure on the cover end and P2 is the pressure on the rod end. Okay, so this end is called rod end. Exactly here the piston rod is not explained, it is directly connected, but as if you remember in the class I have made that piston rod also. Okay, so this end is piston rod end and this end is cover end. So if cover end side pressure is P1 and rod end pressure is P2, m is the mass of the reciprocating parts. It is not only mass of piston, it is mass of reciprocating parts. Okay, so when we will solve one problem you will understand exactly. So force on the piston due to gas pressure will come P1A1 minus P2A2. Generally this, if this is very less, we ignore sometime, or sometime it is not given. Okay, in that case it will be P1 into A1 only. So this how area we will calculate, we will understand in numerical problem. Now inertia force. Okay, so inertia force is mass into acceleration and mass into acceleration, and if you are calculating piston, for piston the acceleration was r omega square cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. Okay, so this is inertia force, mass into acceleration, and this is your acceleration r omega square cos theta and multiplying by m, which is the in the opposite direction of that of acceleration of the piston. So net effective effective force on the piston will be Fp. So Fp is acting in towards right hand side direction and Fb is opposing that. Okay, so this is for horizontal engine. This is for horizontal engine. And if you consider friction also, so friction also oppose the movement. Okay, so this will also minus, so it will reduce by Ff. Okay, so net, because you are calculating net force in right side direction, means so this Fp is acting in positive x, Fb will oppose, F friction force will also oppose. Okay, so in case of this everything is in case of horizontal engine. In case of vertical engine, the weight of the piston or reciprocating parts also acts as force. Okay, so for example, one numerical problem is there. So here it is vertical engine. Okay, so in this case it will be mg effect will act downward. Okay, so that will add to the net force. So here it is Fp plus mg. Okay, if it is out stroke it will add. So Fp plus mg minus Fb minus Ff. Okay, so this is your net force on the piston. Now all these forces, so now you have to observe this diagram. I will send my notes also, in that you will see proper, means in this is somewhat complicated here. Okay, no need to draw such diagram. I will send my notes, in that you can see the same diagram. Okay, so this is F, net force acting on the piston, and now there are so many other element. Okay, so force element like Fn, Fc, okay, Fr, Ft. Now we will see what are those. Okay, so this diagram is, you already know, this is beta angle made by connecting rod, and this is your crank rotated through theta angle from this horizontal position in clockwise direction. So the second force is force along the connecting rod, Fc. Okay, so if it is F, it is Fc, and this is beta, then you can write Fc cos beta This FC direction is, if you see at this position at B point, it will act means compressive to the B, and at A point it will be also compressive to the A. So if I'm considering this portion, so if you draw the only B part or free body diagram of B part, what it will be? F in this direction, this is FC and this is beta. So cos component of FC will be FC cos beta, and that is equivalent to F. So FC cos beta is equal to F. So FC we are getting in, means the force along the connecting rod is marked by FC, so that is F by cos beta. Okay. In the same way, thrust on the sides of cylinder. So this is the cylinder. Okay, this is cylinder wall. So the thrust force acting on the cylinder wall or normal force acting on the cylinder wall is called thrust on the sides of cylinder. So how you will calculate? Now we will take sine component of FC, and that will be equivalent to Fn, because if it is FC, this component will be F cos beta and this component will be F sin beta. Okay, so now if you do force means static force equilibrium equation in y direction, then we will get Fn is equal to Fc sin beta, and for this we did force equilibrium in horizontal x direction. Okay, this x component means x direction. So Fn is equal to Fc sin beta, and I know that Fc is equal to F by cos beta. So if I put here F by cos beta, so sin beta by cos beta will become tan beta. So Fn in terms of F, we will get F into tan beta. Okay. Now crank effort. What is the crank effort? And this is only useful force. Okay. So I will tell you how. So see here, this is your crank. Okay. The force which is tangential to this circle. Okay, so this is Ft. This is Ft. That is called crank effort. The force is exerted on the crank pin as a result of the force on the piston. Okay, so at this point, crank pin, the force is exerted on the crank pin as a result of this F. So crank effort is the net effort or force applied at the crank pin perpendicular to the crank, which gives the required turning moment on the crankshaft. Okay, so this Ft is perpendicular to this crank. Okay, so this is perpendicular to this, not along the Fc. Please remember, this Ft is not along this Fc, it is perpendicular to this R. Okay, so now let Ft is the crank effort, and this is called crank effort because this Ft is rotating your crankshaft. So the torque will be Ft into R. So torque on the crankshaft will be Ft into R. Okay, so now we want to calculate Ft. Here he is using somewhat complicated method. No need to do this. See, if I draw here a horizontal line, okay, forget about this dashed line, leave it. Okay, so when I will send you notes, you can understand that if I draw a horizontal line here, okay, and what will be the angle? Okay, if I extend, what is this? Fc. Along this dashed line, what is the force? Fc. Okay, and what is this angle? If I draw a horizontal here, beta, because here it is beta. Okay, so extend this Fc means this connecting rod line, and then if I draw a horizontal, that angle is beta. If it is theta, so this total angle will be theta plus beta. Okay, how it is? For example, if I draw here a horizontal, this angle will be beta because theta, because this is theta, and if I drawing here horizontal and the line along which this connecting rod and this horizontal, the angle between both will be beta, and this is theta. So this total angle is theta plus beta. Here it is given. So this total angle is theta plus beta. Now if I am drawing a horizontal and this angle is this is Fc, so and this angle is F theta, this is angle is theta plus beta. So what will be this component? This component is FC component, cos component, and this will be sine component along this. So I can write Ft is equal to Fc sine theta plus beta. Okay, sine theta plus beta. So Ft is equal to Fc sine theta plus beta. I will send my notes, from there you will understand. Now Fc is what? F by cos beta. So Ft is equal to F sine theta plus beta divided by cos beta. So this is your crank effort. Now thrust on the bearing. Okay, thrust on the bearing. This is Fr. This is Fr. The force along the crank. The force along the crank. So, okay, so that will apply thrust on this bearing. Here bearing will be there. Thrust on the bearing will be the component of Fc along the crank in the radial direction produces thrust on the crankshaft bearing. So we want to calculate this Fr. So what will be this Fr? If I see here, because this component, this Fc, this component is sine, so along this crank the component will be cos component. So Fr is equal to Fc cos theta plus beta. Okay, so this Fc along this, the force is Fc and this angle is theta plus beta. So this is cos component of Fc and this is sine component of Fc with angle being theta plus beta. Okay, so this is Fc cos theta plus beta, and Fc is F by cos beta. So Fr is equal to F cos theta plus beta by cos beta. Now turning moment on the crankshaft. Turning moment on the crankshaft. So this force is tangential to this circle. So how much turning moment this will apply? Ft into R. Okay, so the turning moment on the crankshaft is here. Okay, so on crankshaft the turning moment is, or torque is, Ft into R, that will supply you power. Okay, so what is Ft? F by cos beta sine theta plus beta into R. Okay, so F into R by cos beta. Open the sine theta plus beta like sine A plus B. So once you open this, we are getting F into R. Now multiply this cos beta inside. So this sine theta, this cos beta got cancelled. Okay, plus sine cos theta, now sine beta by cos beta. Okay, so what was the cos beta? Don't write tan beta. Okay, so sine beta is equal to sine theta by n, and cos beta was 1 upon n square root n square minus sine square theta. Okay, this n got cancelled out, and this sine theta cos theta. Now to make this sine theta cos theta 2 sine theta, we are multiplying and dividing by 2, means multiplying by 2 in denominator and numerator. So 2 sine theta cos theta will become sine 2 theta, and this here we have 2 square root n square minus sine square theta. So this is your torque or turning moment on the crankshaft. Okay, so this gives you turning moment on the crankshaft. Now no need to calculate this. If you want, you can calculate. As now you have to see this diagram. This is extended portion, this is vertical drawn. Okay, so this angle will be beta and this angle will be, it is not vertical line, I think vertical is this. So he is calculating this line is R sine theta plus beta. Okay, because this is R, this is theta plus beta, and this is R cos beta, cos theta plus beta, and this is sine component, this is cos component for R. Okay, so this is sine component. So he is doing here, r sin theta plus beta is nothing but OD cos beta. Okay, so because this is beta, so this is OD, so this is cos component of this for this angle, so OD cos beta. So ft into r. So if again we go to back without calculating this, ft was f by cos beta into r, and sin theta plus beta, r sin theta plus beta is nothing but OD into cos beta. So f cos beta got cancelled and f into OD, but because this d is somewhere in between and no one will give you this d OD distance, so no need to calculate this, just remember up to this point. Okay, so now there is one problem. The problem is somewhat big. What is the given? A horizontal gas engine. So the given engine is horizontal, okay, running at this RPM. So RPM is given, has a bore. Bore means the cylinder internal diameter, okay, the cylinder internal diameter, and a stroke of 44 mm. Now stroke is nothing but the distance covered by piston. Okay, so total displacement of piston, that is called a stroke. 440 mm. The connecting rod is 924 mm, means L is equal to 0.924 meter long, and the reciprocating part weight is equal to 20 kg. Mass is equal to 20 kg. When the crank has turned through an angle 30 degree from the inner dead center, means theta is equal to 30 degree. The gas pressure on the cover and the crank sides are 500 kilonewton per meter square and 60 kilonewton per meter square. The diameter of the piston rod is 40. Okay, so now from this you will calculate A2, and this is your P2, this is your P1, okay, and this is your bore diameter. So this will become cover end side. Okay, so this diameter will give you A1. Okay, this diameter will give you A2. Okay, and this is P1 and this is P2. Now you have to solve turning moment on the crankshaft. Okay, so finally you have to calculate turning moment on the crankshaft, which is F into R into sin theta plus beta by cos beta. So before that, how we will reach there? So the bore diameter is given. Okay, so R you have to calculate. R we have to calculate. So R is this is diameter. Okay, so we need radius. So radius will be equal to 0.44 by 2. So 0.22 meter. So here exactly why he is calculating R, connecting crank radius is equal to 0.44 by 2, and it's coming 0.22 meter. See, this is displacement, means stroke means nothing but how much distance a piston covers for a So to understand this, how this stroke 440 mm is equal to 2 into R. Okay, I will go back and I will explain with this diagram. Okay, here he is not representing X, so I will go that first diagram. Okay, here. For example, come here. So this is the he is giving stroke means how much the total means maximum displacement or the maximum distance this piston covers. For example, this is the extreme position here. Okay, and this A is at here, so this is the B position. Okay, now for example, after some time this A will go to this outer dead center. In that case, this B will be somewhere here. Okay, so this total distance is called stroke. Okay, so now if a stroke is given and crank radius is not given, how we will calculate? See, this stroke means nothing but equal to diameter, because when this crank is rotating from A to this, means inner dead center to outer dead center, means the piston is covering the distance equal to 2r. Okay, this, because the A point is coming from here to here. Okay, so this B will be also moving from here to here, but that will be equal to this distance. So this is nothing but 2 times of radius. Okay, so one stroke is equal to 2 times of radius, crank radius. So R is equal to 2 into 2 into R is equal to stroke. That's why he is calculating crank radius R is equal to stroke length divided by 2. So this is IC engine. You will learn this in IC engine subject. Okay, so R we got, L is given, RPM is given, mass is given, and theta is given. Okay, so from L and R we will get N, and from N we will get omega. Okay, sin beta we will calculate by sin theta by N. You know all these relation. After getting this beta, okay, you got beta. Now we will calculate FP. FP is equal to P1 minus A1 minus P2 into A2. Now please keep it in mind, here this 220 mm is bore. Okay, so this 220, this is also coming 0.22 and this is also 0.22, but this is not radius, means this is not radius, this is the cylinder diameter, cylinder bore or cylinder diameter, and this is your crank length, crank radius. Okay, so this P1 into A1, which is nothing but cover and area. Okay, and this will be equal to the internal cross section area of cylinder. Okay, now minus 60, which is P2 into now A2. Now when you calculate A2, please remember how much area is exposed to this P2. Okay, so the total area exposed to this P2 is, see here you will see an annular ring. Okay, ring like area, because this is the piston rod diameter. So piston rod diameter is not exposed to, means that portion is particular not exposed to pressure. So we have to calculate A2 by this formula. Okay, so total diameter minus piston rod diameter square divided by, means pi by 4, this total diameter square minus piston rod square diameter square. Okay, so once you solve this, you will get the FP value. Now inertia force we can calculate by F is equal to m into acceleration. So acceleration formula, you know, once you put all the value you will get FB. So net effort will come FP minus FB, means net pressure force minus inertia force. Why? Because the given engine is horizontal. If it would be vertical, we have to consider mg also, and if it was given here friction force, we should consider friction force also. But since friction force is not given, the friction force also will be minus. Okay, it will, we have to reduce, because friction also oppose the movement. Okay, now once you get piston effort, you can calculate turning moment. Okay, by formula theta you know, beta you got. Now R also you know, this R will be crank radius. Okay, now thrust on the bearing also by formula we can get. Okay, now once you get this, he is asking accelerating torque. He is asking acceleration of the flywheel which has a mass of this. He is asking acceleration of the flywheel, and radius of gyration is given. So from mass and radius of gyration you will get I, mass moment of inertia for flywheel, and this is the power of the engine. So power of the engine will resist. Okay, it will generate resisting torque. So how much torque we are generating? torque on the moment is this much. Okay, so now we will calculate how much resisting torque will be there. So resisting torque will come because of power. So power is equal to T into omega. So T will give you resisting torque, omega you know. Okay, so power is equal to T into omega. So from this T is your resisting torque. Okay, so accelerating torque is equal to turning moment minus resisting torque. So turning moment is, you already got 1953, and this is your resisting torque, which will come because it is generating power also. So the net accelerating torque is 953, and 953 from the engineering mechanics, if you know, the torque is equal to I into alpha. Okay, where I is mass moment of inertia and alpha is angular acceleration. Okay, this is angular acceleration. So I is mk square for flywheel, because radius of gyration is given. Okay, so directly you will get, so once you put all the values, you will get angular acceleration of the flywheel, which is coming 330.9 radius per second square. Okay, so with this I will end this lecture. Please solve this problem, understand. If you are not getting, ask me. Okay, thank you.